So I've been playing around with this Rumble thing for a little while and still making YouTube videos for my 17 subscribers. And, it would take forever to get anything out of it. Not that I was doing these just to get anything out of it. I do them for a couple reasons. One, like I explained in my YouTube video, I don't, the people you grew up with, your dad, your grandpa, of course, stuff was different back then as far as things you could use, to take pictures or whatever. But, I don't remember their voices, and I most certainly don't know what they, I remember what they look like. But, so this would be something, for my grandkids, that one day they could possibly look at it and say, wow, he really was not right. But anyway, so it's going to be kind of the same thing that I do with, or did with the YouTube. It's been about 5 or 6 months before that. But I think, again, for what I use it for, I think they will work out. So today, I want to talk about kind of what I've been doing and who I've been doing it for. And because it's already on YouTube and I can't reuse the video, we're going to talk about Mr. Grobe's book, Elvis Safe and Sound. Now, since the beginning, or since I did the one on YouTube, the movies came out, when that one was made, I had no idea they were making a movie. It was just something I like. Mr. Grobe is like a superhero to me, and unfortunately, he's been gone for a couple of years. But before he passed, I did get to meet him and his wife Melissa. And like I said, being that I'm a security guy, it was it's almost like my Elvis sort of thing. And anyone that grew up in the time frames, I was born in '75, and anything around then, a few years before or after, more than likely one of your parents, if not both your parents, your aunts, and maybe not your grandparents, are Elvis fans. So, it's one of those things I always grew up with. My Aunt Pat was a huge Elvis fan. I got a cousin down in Mississippi, and, I can remember a story that her ex-husband, told me when I was a kid about Elvis dying and how they were on the phone for hours. And he came home from work and couldn't figure out what was going on. She was just crying on the phone, and it was to my aunt in Michigan, over Elvis passing. And unfortunately, there's been another passing. Lisa Marie passed, which was Elvis's daughter. So, and then I want to talk about, before we get to that, I want to talk about what I've been, doing. I'm still security consulting. It's up on a year for BAM Public Safety out of New Hampshire, and they have blown out. Brian is the real deal. He's what's right in the industry right now, and how he goes about things, and he is an absolute rock star. Basically, they, in the last year, besides, camps and events, he's got into a minor league ballpark, for part of their security services. He does a couple of events, and they have a big announcement, and I don't think they made it yet, but, they've already spread out into the rest of New England, so they're not really concentrating too much on Maine or anything like that right now. But as far as New Hampshire and Massachusetts, they're smoking, and they're going to hurt a lot of people's feelings, because it's one of those things. Once they get you on the phone, or once they do an event for you, you're not going to want anybody else. They just have that type of product and brand that is absolutely amazing. And besides the security, they do the whole safety consultant, nationwide consulting, tour security is consulting. They do CPR classes. They can do CPR classes anywhere. And they really, it's kind of made me proud. And looking at my shirt, this is my going out shirt. It's kind of what made me want to do the video, because it's been tough. Right now it's 5 degrees, and I'm still dealing with a broke car, a different broke car, but it's still a broke car. So I accidentally grabbed this shirt, and then was too lazy because I didn't want to go between the bathroom and my room. And as cold as it is, I decided just to wear it. And I was like, since it's my going out shirt, it might be a good time to do a video. And so I'm trying to do the YouTube stuff, or not the YouTube stuff, but this stuff. So anyway, and the other people I've been working for is from Michigan, and they're called JBI Securities. Um, it's weird how we met. We met last year. I had a client that had 6 or 7 festivals that they were doing from May until October. So we got them in there, and they killed it. They did a hell of a job. They also have been doing the last couple of years of subcontracting. They've been subcontracting some big events, motorsports events, motocross, race car, dragging. These guys done it all, and Juan, the owner of the company, he's absolutely a rock star. Also, is almost like a kid in a candy store as far as like the security, and I'm that way too. I'm that way with like security or history stuff. I get really excited, and so it's cool to see how they have grown. And it's only been about 5 months for JBI, but the stuff they have made and some of the seeds that we're starting to see grow. These guys are about to have a big breakout, and again, they're one of those companies that somebody can really grow up with. It's one of those companies that, again, they get you on the phone or they do one event for you. It absolutely, you're not going to want anyone else. It's a family affair for Juan and them. His wife's in the office. Family's involved. They also do a taco stand, but he don't want me to talk about that too much. Although I'm trying to tell him, we could probably sell more if we add the 2 services. Not only can you get a security company, but it comes with a taco stand. Well, maybe we're a little bit too ahead of our time, but it's going to work. Just like I was saying years ago, that a lot of these events companies are going to start trickling down to the college level, and they're going to start trickling down even to the high school level, especially some of the bigger schools. And as you know, by Tennessee or some of the other states, there is event companies that work their sporting events. I apologize for the phone going back and forth, but we're going to let it roll anyway. But so it's BAM Public Safety. They're in New England. They cover all of New England, or actually Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and like I said, they got something big coming that's really going to secure their place in Massachusetts, but I don't think they've announced it yet, so I can't say it. But I can tell you right now, both of them are hiring. JBI Securities is in Michigan. Just look up that website, JBI Securities, and it's a pretty easy website. You can get in and you can join the team. It's a lot of exciting stuff. They got a lot of events stacked up this year, possibly some big ones. We've been working on some big things. And JBI is unique because, most companies, security companies, will have a security or an event element, private investigation elements. But, these guys have all those too, but they also do bail enforcement. And they're really good at it. And, it's a separate side of the company. But everyone's under the same roof, and some of the talent that they bring in for all of that, and if you're a guy who has those talents, or you're a person who has those talents, you might want to give them a call. The same thing for BAM. BAM is going to have a lot of opportunities for you to grow, learn, and be part of the business. And once it gets the hooks in you, I've been doing it for 20-something years, and it's been my worst and my best times, but here I am still trying to do it. So we're going to use it since we're already on 9 minutes. Wow. Dick Robe's book, Elvis Safe and Sound. If you're in the business, this is something that you want. Dick, it was awesome at saving everything. His estate has been piecing out for auction these last couple months, and some of the stuff he's saved, from a video, that people weren't supposed to, and pictures that people were supposed to be taking in stadiums that they took from people. The things that he written down. Everything's in this book. It covers incidents. It's even signed by Dick. Before Dick passed, he had an issue with his hands. And I got the letter in here too from him and Melissa. That talks about that. He couldn't really control his hands, but Even here, like you said, it breaks down everything. Travel schedule, where people are staying as far as like the hotel is concerned. It's an absolutely amazing book. Here's a letter right here. You can still find it. That's the letter. You can still find it. I know Daly's Elvis or Memphis place. They were selling it. I think there's still some on Amazon, but it's a great book. I love it. It's probably one of those things that I'll be buried with, or give to my son. I've been doing that with my history, my books collection. At one point in time, I probably had, maybe just under 2,000 history books, and the bulk of them were Civil War books, but it was history of all types. Some was Israel's history, a lot of the Six-Day War stuff, a lot of the early Six-Day War stuff I still got. Since all my moving around in years, I haven't taken great care of them, especially the paperback books. But all the moving, I think I got them down to, I got maybe 100 now, maybe 100 something. Every year, every Christmas or birthday, I've been giving my kid a couple books, especially some of the special ones. I haven't gave him my first Civil War books is kind of a mess because I carried it everywhere with me, and it was the Golden Book of the Civil War. You can only buy one book. That's probably the book you need to buy. But it was an orange, and this is all ripped off it. So, I keep it in a suitcase, and then I've written a bookish, handwritten something too that covers. It covers a few things that, he'll get that and a couple other books when I'm gone. But, so I make it a point to give them some history books and make sure they keep them because you should, especially with the dumbing down, the woke culture. And I'm not saying, I'm not getting political, but a lot of the information in some of these books, even pro-Northern books, are being thrown out, or just removed from history, which is something that people said that regardless of what you agree with, the tearing down and removing of stuff, it's like history is a circle, and you can move pieces of history, and that circle will continue. But if you remove half the history, you don't have a circle anymore, and then basically you don't have anything anymore. And unfortunately, that's something that we've seen in everybody's history, especially ours. But that's it. Like I said, I think maybe I'll do it weekly or maybe daily. But I want to keep them just a little bit longer than I wanted to. And I'm sure it's not the greatest. But, again, if you're looking for work in New England, you want to reach out to BAM Public Safety. They're easy to find, as Coach Dion says. Brian's easy to find. And that's the other thing I want to talk about maybe tomorrow is like the use of social media for security companies or people in the industry and recruiting. Because I think there needs to be a big shift in recruiting, and I think it needs to be something like, you have to pursue the talent, and people are so confident in their own product they may not realize that there's something better out there. And there's a few people that, I'm pretty confident in what I post on my Facebook, and people take it as cocky. But, there's people out there that in the industry, they post on, oh, this person asked me on why I'm the greatest or why I'm this. And it's just like, one day it's all gone, brother. So everybody has a reckoning. But anyway, that's it. And like I said, I haven't decided I'm going to do this a daily thing because I still got stuff I got to do for New England today. I only spent 4 or 5 hours this morning, and then I had to do a couple other things. So we've been dealing with some issues here. So that's it. And like I said, if you get a chance, you want to pick up Dick Grobe's Elvis, Safe and Sound. Again, here's another the cocktail party and city and arrangements. How fucking awesome is that? Or even that picture right there of Elvis and Mr. Grove. But it's definitely worth the book. If you're in the industry, you're going to absolutely love it. You're going to learn a lot of stuff you may not have learned, or you may learn some of the old ways. If you're not in the industry, and especially with the new movie, it covers some of the things that you might have or might not have seen in the movie. But that's it. Have a great day.